George Weah is the first African footballer to be named World Player of the Year. He made his mark by scoring exceptional goals for top European teams.
If there is no goal, George will come on the field, and once he get on the field, he will make a difference. So he was just different. On the line of football, he was just different. He was surely gifted by God.
He brought proud to this nation when there were dark times. During our troubled times, when we were fighting war in this country, George Weah was flying the flags that brought her outside to the outside world. He made us proud, and for that reason, we love him, we cherish him.
His rare talent led him to fame and celebrity status. In the football world, he was known as King George. Yet his beginnings were far from royal. One of his childhood friends, 43-year-old Veronica Doe, still lives in the neighborhood where he grew up.
Let me show you where George Weah was living. Yeah, you were living here with a grandmother before you got that contract. Here George Weah was living. This is the horse.
He was abandoned by his parents and raised by his grandmother along with his aunt, Rebecca Lambe, in Gibraltar, one of the poorest areas in Monrovia.
We slept on one mat, he and myself in the house, on the ground. He was going to school, I was not going to school. I used to cook for them.
But his Liberia home today is a far cry from his troubled youth. A Mercedes and a BMW decorate his driveway, and he has a basketball court and a mini football pitch in his compound.
I had a series of challenges. Living in a community where there was no hope, a lot of friends in the street, gambling, using drugs. And I'm glad that I was raised by my grandmother. If I didn't, I don't know what I was going to become. She taught me a whole lot. She taught me how to pray. She taught me how to forgive. She taught me how to love. And she taught me how to be respectful, to go for what we want to do and never give up.
George started playing football almost as soon as he could walk, just like most other children in Liberia.
He started playing football from a smaller time, and whenever he get out in the morning, we go look for him with me playing football. We call him to come and eat. After eating, he will go and play football.
In Liberia, basically the primary sport is football.
So good morning, fellow Liberians, home and abroad. We are testing, our YouTube page. Currently what we are doing is we are testing our YouTube page. Now we are live on YouTube. I want to say thanks to each and every one of you who continue to push us to go the extra mile. As you may be aware, we told you the last time that we about to start our broadcast in Liberia. And in order for us to start our live broadcast in Liberia, we need to put everything in play. We need to make sure that everything is in place. We need to get our, our online stuff and everything. So today we were very successful in setting up the YouTube. As I speak to you, the YouTube is also on. So I am urging every one of us, you can please go to the YouTube and subscribe to us. On the YouTube there, you will see under the Palava hut, and you will see the president's picture. You will see President Weah picture in the red, the red propose suit. So those of you that are listening, please, I want to welcome our sister Helena Ba. This is a test transmission on YouTube and that of Facebook. So we want to go simultaneously, and we are grateful that we now have it. So we want to appeal to you, those of you who are following us on Facebook. You can also subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like I said earlier, the YouTube channel is the one that you have the president's picture, President Weah picture with the red, how you call, or proposed suit. So we urge that you kindly subscribe to that particular YouTube page. We are currently on. As I speak to you, we are currently on. Yeah, we are currently on. So you can do us a favor. You can do us a favor by subscribing to that particular channel, and you know, it will actually help us. So again, let's just try to bring you this while we get ready. Yeah.
In Liberia, trust me, it's like a religion. People are football crazy in Liberia. They love the game. We play with barefooted, no sneakers, no shoes.
So that is it, fellow Liberians.
There's a lot of risk in that, you know, cutting our toes and glass bottle on our feet. And as you play, maybe your knee pierce your legs and you cry, you leave the field. So that's the memory of football, you know, playing in front of our house, you know, challenging each other in a small space.
Aged 15, George caught the eye of sports journalist Omari Jackson. He started reporting on a young footballer with a dream.
Initially, he was kind of a lazy player, but when the coaches realized that he had the talent, he had the ability to do what they wanted him to do, they spent time on him.
People call me lazy, you know, weak, and all of those adjectives were used on me. But I kept my focus. I wanted to persevere. I wanted to prove to those critics that I could make something out of myself.
He was awarded a football scholarship to go to Wells Hairstone High School, aged 16. Back in the classroom where they studied together, Stephen Quo and Josiah Nagbe remember him practicing his autograph from an early age. They knew him by his middle name, Opong.
We used to sit at the bar there, practicing signature. How to sound? And whenever I see that signature, I know straight that Opong signature here. And why you write everything.
He was very, very shy. And shy guy, respectful God. And you know, and he was smart guy who equal the land.
Football took George away from the classroom and he dropped out of school in his final year. But he had begun a quick rise through the country's top teams. Sam Sebastian played with him for the first Liberian club he joined, Young Survivor.
We played together until, let's say, 85, 86. From there, he joined Bung Range. From Bung Range, he joined Mighty Barrow.
He was skillful, really, you know, in dribbling. We call him the wizard dribbler. With the journalists, gave him that name because of his way with the ball.
He joined Invisible 11.
Heavenly Father, that you will give him knowledge and wisdom, that he will be able, oh God, in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ of Nazareth, give him discernment, give him divine understanding, give him divine unction to discern and know the truth and speak in the interest of the people of the Republic of Liberia and according to the will of God for this country. Lord, there is no situation so surmountable that you cannot enable him to conquer. We pray that you will give him victory. Give
So
him
this is
the
a
wisdom
test
of
broadcast,
Solomon
fellow
to discern
Liberians.
between the truth and lies.
This is a test
To
broadcast.
discern between falsehood.
We are testing our
and
YouTube
truth.
channel.
I pray, Father, you will help him.
We are testing
Bless the
our
president.
YouTube
That's why
channel.
we gather to pray for
And
wisdom
we also
as he
want to
handles
test
the
our
issues
broadcast
confronting
in
this
Liberia,
nation.
but it's not
Thank
going to
you
be
in
today.
Jesus' name.
So we are testing our YouTube
We
channel.
ask
So those of you that are on YouTube, you can also go and subscribe to Honor the Palava Hut. When you get to the YouTube channel, you are going to see the president's picture. You're going to see President Weah's picture in the red Propose suit. So on YouTube, you can watch us also live on YouTube while you are watching us also, or those who want to watch us on Facebook, you can do that. So we will be testing also the broadcast in Liberia on the FM. We'll be testing it also, but it will be sometime. Now we want to make sure we have everything on. So the YouTube is now on, and that of the Facebook streaming live is on. And we want to say thanks to all of you who continue to subscribe, who continue to appreciate, who continue to encourage us. Thank you so kindly. So we are going to use the next 20-25 minutes to test both our YouTube and that of the Facebook streaming live. So we are currently going live simultaneously. While we are on Facebook, we are also on YouTube. So you can just go to the YouTube channel again, because we want to see how the YouTube channel is. You can go to the YouTube and see whether the sound is okay, whether the graphic there is okay. So you can go there and be able to just look at it and see and give us a feedback. So again, we are on YouTube and we are also on the Facebook live. We will be testing the FM from back home. We'll be testing it, but that will be very soon, not now, because we need to put some things in place. So again, I want to say thanks to each and every one of you. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is under the Palava Hut, and you will see President Weah picture with the red propos suit. Thank you.
Between the Chief Justice and the Executive, we come against them, oh God, that our land will prosper.
And I want to thank my friends in the international community, our partners. It's been a hectic.
Good morning to my lovely sister, Joyce the Lomange. How are you, Mama? I hope you are doing great. I want to say good morning to Joyce the Lomange, to Joyce and the family. I want to say good morning to you, my lovely sister. Good afternoon, whatever the time is from your end. I also want to say good morning or good afternoon to my sister Helena Ba. Sister Helena Ba, how are you? We are grateful to have you here. That's my own lovely sister Helena Ba. You are welcome. Ophelia B. Dennis, that's my own lovely sister right there. Ophelia Dennis, I want to say you are highly welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Good to be here. If you give
Jonas Zopuga, how are you? My brother Jonas Zopuga, you are welcome.
I prefer coming to the altar.
Jonas Zopuga, I want to appreciate your presence here.
This is where
I also want to welcome Madam Sise all the way there from North Dakota. North Dakota is in the house. You are highly welcome, my lovely sister, Madam Sise. I want to say I appreciate your presence and thank you so much for everything. Rebecca Dogba. Madam Rebecca Dogba, I want to welcome you. Madam Rebecca Dogba, you are welcome under the Palava Hut. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are joining us from.
good and what is bad.
I want to welcome my own brother, Newman Johnson. Newman Johnson, thank you so much for joining us. Brother Newman Johnson, we appreciate you.
And the driver is very prudent. And then we tell the driver, everybody will go beat it, driver beat it. With that,
I also want to use this time to welcome our own brother, Poka Rabba, watching us there from all the way Grand Bassa. Poka Rabba, you are highly welcome. I want to appreciate and welcome you. Thank you so much for joining us, Poka Rabba. Smooth Rich, how are you, Smooth Rich? Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are joining us from. I appreciate you.
something that we don't want.
My own brother James Tano, how are you, my brother James Tano? I hope you are doing great, well, and fine. We are testing our broadcast also on YouTube. So those of you who have, who are also interested in YouTube, you can go and subscribe to our channel. It's under the Palava Hut. You type under the Palava Hut, you will see the president's picture in his red purple suit. That is the channel, the YouTube channel for Under the Palava Hut. Pew Kwekwe Jones, I want to welcome you.
Calling for United Nations, the world, not to help Liberia because they believe.
I also want to use this time to welcome a minister of God, a big brother, Samuel S. Sika. I want to say you are highly welcome, Reverend. It's a privilege for us to have you here, and we are excited that you are here with us. Samuel S. Sika, you are welcome, sir.
We are a country that guided by laws. We have a constitution. You see, in this room, the only person that not supposed to know the constitution are me. Because I'm the only person that don't know nothing. All of you are clever. But I can interpret the constitution. Thank you. Thank you. The only person that can interpret the constitution is supposed to be me. Because I'm the one that don't know nothing. All of you, your professor, your clever, your master degree holder, what have you. But simple rationale. We have laws in the country. When people ask you to be patient, let the law take a course, that's the time you rebel. And you know, in any rebellious act, there's casualties. Your children are supposed to be leaders of tomorrow. You think jumping in the street are the best way. No. We need to change our attitude. One journalist wrote that 9 billion lost. Another one wrote 16 billion lost. Then the government said, okay, where's smoke there, maybe fire there. So let us now ask those people that are responsible what happened. And we told you, relax. We are going to the international community because we don't want to be the judge at the same time. We want to ask our international partners to bring in forensic people, and bring FBI, and bring the ECWA, so they can help us to ascertain if it is true or not. But you get in the street, you calling for international sanction. The government that was in power, that had a right to print money, you don't have to sanction them. That we have not even put allocation to print money. That we don't want you want for the sanction. The government. Said, thank you. Since we came, it's been 8 months. As the Senate, as the House of Rep, if the proper government are ever ready to allocate money to come to the country, and you know, we couldn't forget. You forget to know that the issues I was senator before, and the records on the books. That even the money, the first money that allocated, I refused to sign. And the only reason I refused to sign is not because I wanted Liberians to suffer. No. I believe that campaign coming, it was not the right time to print money. You want to move the mutilated money from the market. You want to bring in money. You can use that money until the campaign finish. When new government comes, you can print money.
So fellow Liberians, again, we are testing our system. We are testing our system. The YouTube channel is currently on live. So those of you who are also on YouTube, you can go on YouTube and subscribe. It is under the Palava Hut, or in capital letter, under the Palava Hut. YouTube, under the Palava Hut. You are going to see it there, under the Palava Hut. Those of you that are on our YouTube, you can go and subscribe to it. We are testing it right now, and we'll be testing the FM broadcast very soon.
Hello? When we start building homes in the country, we were not in government. So We need to be careful. This is a government. We're not playing yet. Our international partner know we have meeting.
I want to welcome my own brother Stanley King. Stanley King, you are welcome. Thank you for joining us.
We have meeting to know our operations, to make sure that no one, even my Anna we are, will not temper with anything that Liberian people get. Because there's no need to. So we need to be careful. You ask for international sanction for money that lost. Now let me say something to you.
I want to welcome my own brother Wise Colley. You are highly welcome. Isha Kasor, you are welcome. Jacob Cooper. Ba Fatimata Nabi, you are welcome.
Stolen.
I want to welcome you distinguished people that have joined us. We are testing our broadcast, our YouTube channel. And I think we're going to test also our FM in Liberia. But let me see if I can call in the studio and see.
They talk about inflation of 250. You have 17 billion, somebody takes 16 billion. Come on now. Come on. We got to think, because you know, in 1989, coming to December, I came for vacation when the president told me that he's closing the airport. It's the first time I cried. I never cried in my life before. My father died, I walked by the castle, I passed. I'd never cried before, but when they said that they're closing the airport, I asked why. They said insurgency. Who? They said rebel then coming. Who is the rebel? Liberians. Who are the rebels? Is it American coming to fight? No, our own people. Why? So if you have problem with the leadership, you think the best thing to do is to bring guns on your own people. We got to be serious here. We got to be serious. And it's not no joke. That's not joke. That's not joke. We are peacekeeping success. I said to the UN, we are peacekeeping success story. We are taking care of our own security. What we can do is to ask our partner to help our logistics so we can make sure that all our borders are secure. We can help to patrol. Because we're fighting global terrorism. And we here joking and we think that it's good. But now, if you look at the video, the same people that said 16 billion law and the same people in the street running say they protesting. What are the Liberians? What were you people? You should have been in the street. Now the people that said 16 billion law, they put themselves together in the street. The same people. But remember, their government functioned for 12 years. We were opposition. When we got in the street, they were shooting at us. People were dying. How many protests? Our human rights, we want a war because things was not good. But they took guns and ammunition against us. Just the other day, they went in the street. Police guarded them to exercise their franchise. Simply because we know within the country of law, everyone has the right. But your rights, don't abuse your rights. Make sure that when you go in the street, it should be because the information is factual. Do not go because it's rumors. The journalists, you know, it's sad. Just the other day, we're fighting the sound decriminalization so the journalists can have their right. But the fact that they have their right, they cannot say something that would damage the country. So those journalists that said that 16 billion loss and 9 billion loss, they're also going to be in the investigation. We're going to bring them to the investigation so they can tell us where the 16 billion go. There will be international people. We have our international partner, the journalists, the information that they got, that 16 billion law, 9 billion law, they're going to join the people to make sure that what they say is right. Because of that 16 billion, people jump in the street. We left here as a young government going to the UN, all my colleagues, I have to explain to them. Mr. We are happy with the 16 billion. It's a shame. You expect me to perform well for you when you telling the whole world that I stole 16 billion. And I go on the UN podium, when I make mistake, I don't represent a country where the same person will be criticizing me. You will say that, oh, we told you that I bobo there, you can't talk. You know, and there's issues where people talking that we don't know the trouble that we cause to the country. Our government has caused nothing. We don't even know the GDP. Can you imagine people say that we don't know the GDP of this country? We don't even know what GDP is. But the GDP they know, 12 years, those community not get life. They know the GDP from the fingertip. Roll from here to Sasa and Nande. If you know the GDP, you don't know what GDP is, you don't know what you do with your GDP. If you know the GDP and don't develop your people, then who are you? Thank you. So let us, Liberia is a beautiful country that has so many people from the international community that love this country. You'll be surprised. The UN was my first entry. I didn't know what to expect. I went there, I didn't know what to expect, but I prepared myself what I know that what I said there. I'm not going to look for what other people know. What I wanted to do at the UN is to not just congratulating them for keeping our peace. I wanted to know that for giving our peace, we'll also work with them to maintain peace. As I said, there's a lot of challenges. But everything you do in life without challenge, it will never be possible. There are a lot of challenges, but there's opportunity within those challenges. And that's something that we can handle. In this economy, where we came everywhere, we're broken down. But we managed to maintain salary. We're able to, we don't know GDP, but we're able to cut salary. Those that know GDP could pay someone 16,000, 17,000, even if they're not working. But we say no. That GDP gonna help all Liberians. So if you're making 15,000, we cut it down. That how to use your GDP if you know GDP. The growth of the people. About those that stay in the campaign stage. I came up with a plan. My plan worked. The plan that I came with, Liberians are struggling. The first African Republic, you don't even have a fitting role. Local and feeder roads, local people who are just from Senegal. Everywhere feeder road is paved. And that's the same thing I stated to the public work minister. I don't want to hear anything, who GDP, who don't know it, pave all the feeder road. Send the road to Sastan. So the decision that we're making is in the interest of the country. So nobody can say, to know that Liberians, you learn for 12 years, other people help you to succeed. And the people here, you don't want to help them. You know, so many years, people telling me why you become a peace ambassador for the government. But there's a government that owns the country, or that us own the country. I'm not working for the government, I'm working for Liberia. I'm working for
Welcome to each and every one of you. Welcome to my own brother, Wisa Koli. I appreciate you.
There's stability and there's growth. If there's peace, you want to be president, you want to be...
I want to say welcome to my own brother, Apostle Dr. Frere F. Nyan. You are highly welcome.
No peace.
John Nyan, sorry. You are highly welcome. Apostle Dr. John Frere Nyan. You are welcome. Reverend Mother Rebecca K. Sewon. You are also welcome. We appreciate your presence here. Ishaka Swore. You are welcome.
When the finance minister called me that we're going to church, I love church. Because my grandma told me if you don't go to church, you get in. So I got to wait in the evening to hide on the bed and keep my foot on there. So church, I can come in my chair for anything. And I'm glad that what happened at the UN, you can only give God the glory. It's not my words. I want to represent people that even go in the street and tell people to boo me. You understand? But if I'm going to fail, you are going to be the cause. But you see, with everything that is said, I have focus. The 3 persons that went there and the 100 persons that went to cheer me, I had to make sure that I represent them. Those 3 persons, they was on their own. They was on their own. Because I knew that I went home. When I went to the United Nations, I worked there for 10 years. If you don't realize that, when I was UNICEF ambassador, that was my living place. And all the people that lead us today, they were my bosses. So how can I go to the United Nations and be afraid of people that I know if I'm going to make a case? We went to China, all of us, my colleagues, we were there. And I see people that are going there. We went to the European Union. It's the same people. They say international community. One. So when you get a summit in Brussels, the same leaders going there. When you are there, you interact with them. If you go to FOCAC, they stay there. You go to UN, it's the same people. They interact every day to make sure they change this world for people to be free, for people to benefit. So it's nothing new to me. Some of you people, you know too much. You don't even know about yourself, but you know about everybody. But you see, I'm glad that I can represent you with my colleagues. So no matter what you do, please, for the 6 years, you have a decision to make after 6 years. Let us keep the place stable. We want to develop. I'll put a program
going into rural areas,
good policy
being able to work with farmers and rural
country.
women and traders. And you know, I found that I was very well connected with them. But also, if in the city, some of the to mobilize the support for Liberia, being able to restore Liberia's creditworthiness, being able to make sure goals. I'm very happy with what I was able to do.
When you became president in 2005, you pledged a war on corruption. You called it, quote, a national cancer, and, quote, public enemy number one. But then you yourself were hit with a variety of scandals, your government, and you later said you, quote, underestimated the cultural roots of corruption. But surely Liberian culture isn't to blame for corruption. Liberian politicians, such as yourself and others, are to blame for corruption.
Well, let me tell you, politicians are part of the culture. Politicians are part of the value system.
But it sounds like you're blaming the public, the country, for the actions of politicians.
I'm not blaming anybody. No. I'm thinking you're just talking without listening. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying dependency, dishonesty came part of the Liberian culture over the many years of deprivation. The institutions to fight corruption were not there.
You mentioned the institutions, and yet you did have an independent...
I want to welcome the three persons who's joining us on our YouTube live currently. We have 3 viewers right now on our YouTube live, and I want to say thank you all for following us. Those of you who are watching us on the YouTube live, I just want to get the name so that I can recognize you people. Thank you so much. We have 3 subscribers on our YouTube live. Very encouraging. Thank you so much.
To be able to look at all of those cases and to be able to send them forward to the Ministry of Justice wherever they thought prosecution was necessary.
So why weren't they prosecuted?
Well, because our system is like that. If you want to really understand Liberia, you need to dig a little bit deeper. You need to understand our culture, our values, our systems. And the way to tackle it is not always to just make a whole lot of noise about it, but to quietly build those institutions that are going to be long-lasting.
What is it about your country's institutions and values and culture that led you to appoint 3 of your...
Liberia, you need to dig a little bit deeper.
So why weren't they prosecuted?
Well, because our system is like that. If you want to really understand Liberia, you need to dig a little bit deeper.
You know, fellow Liberians, let me jump on this. You know, Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, when questioned by, the journalist from the Al Jazeera, she said about the issue of corruption, she talked about our system. She talked about how our system is. I want to say this to you, and I want to ask this question. Let me bring this here. Did Madam Sirleaf and others, weren't they aware? In fact, today is her birthday. I want to say happy birthday to you, Mama. We celebrate you. We appreciate your hard work. You are one of our proud. You are one of Africa's proud. We want to say happy birthday to you. But you see, when Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was being interviewed on Al Jazeera, she made it very clear that this issue of corruption is systemic. I want you to listen to this. Let me just minimize this video. I'm going to talk for just a few minutes because today is actually, let me put this right here. And I want you to listen to Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. We are testing our YouTube channel, and we're also going to be testing our FM. But they are working on it. We are working on something. So once it is done, I will let you know.
The legislature, we organize a particular unit in the presidency to be able to look at all of those cases and to be able to send them forward to the Ministry of Justice wherever they thought prosecution was necessary.
So why weren't they prosecuted?
Well, because our system is like that. If you want to really understand.
You hear she talking about the system. When Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was asked, why is it that all of the time the reports were gathered from the LACC, from the GAC about, alleged corrupt officials? Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf made it very clear that those reports were sent to the Ministry of Justice. So the journalist asked her, but why you didn't prosecute these people? And she talked about our system. She talked about our system, and I want you to listen.
Like that. If you want to really understand Liberia, You need to dig a little bit deeper.
If you want to understand Liberia, you got to understand the system. Now, what is the system Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf is talking about? She's talking about process. She's talking about the due process, giving people the opportunity, whether they are accused of corruption or it is alleged by people, giving them the opportunity to go to the court where the court will be able to prove their innocence or how guilty they are. But today, it is the same people who yesterday said that let us give the process a chance, that today are saying, for example, that people who it is alleged that they are involved in corrupt act, say fire the people. Oh, fire the people. As if we don't have the Minister of Justice or the Ministry of Justice. As if we don't have a court in Liberia. As if we don't have a system in Liberia. Yesterday, Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf talked about the system and she was hailed. She was praised by people who were part of the system. But today we are saying the same. That look, you talk about corruption. Somebody look at me now and say print corrupt. Yeah, but saying now here because I get president, we are picture behind me are talking in the interest of our country. Somebody look at me so that people they eating money. Some just look at my face, somebody just look at my nose for long and say the mayor that they didn't want to eating Liberia money here. They boy saying now in America here, they paying somebody say they pay me 10,000. They will pay me 10,000. I'll be doing 2 work in the country here. Sometimes I can't even do my lay 1 or 2 courses and things like that. We'll be doing work here, working like that. So you see, the issue of corruption under this government, perception have taken over. Yesterday they said we have a system. Let's revert to the system. Let's respect the system. And we respected the system as a political institution. I need not to tell you that the CDC in opposition was the strongest and the most vibrant opposition political party under the regime of Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. I need not to tell you that. You know that very well. But again, we follow the system. When we said to her that there were people in your government that was corrupt, they said no. We have a system. This issue is called perception. We can live a perception. But today, the very people who told us yesterday that it is worthy for us to use the system, for us to not just accuse people wrongly, let's follow the system. They are the same people that are telling us today, no, President, we shouldn't follow the system. Because it is alleged that this person is corrupt, they say sack the person. I was surprised yesterday when I saw the likes of Yombly Kanga Lawrence, Abraham Darras DeLong, and some stalwarts or some hooligans, I will put it this way, behind Yombly Kanga and Darras DeLong going to the American embassy. Now, you can see the level of stupidity that have taken over people that you think supposed to know the law, supposed to understand the law, and supposed to play by the law. I am a bit shocked. I am surprised that a sitting senators or sitting senators in the academic escapee Darras DeLong and that of Yombly Kanga Lawrence will lost their sense of direction, will lost their sense of understanding of our body politics. Then it beats my imagination. Then it means that stupidity have engulfed the opposition. When did the American embassy become our court of law? Don't we have a court of law? They gather few of our brothers in the street and say they're going to the NEC office to go and tell the whoever to resign, whatever. Look, you can see that stupidity have taken over these people because President Weah is the president. Before I was told that people, when they are in an angry mood, that they should sit down, think before making decision. But unfortunately, what we are seeing is stupidity displayed in a modern form. No, for the lack of better word, and I am not mincing my word, I'm saying this intentionally. to see lawmakers, people who making law, who supposed to make law for us. They forget about the system that we're supposed to use. They put people on the street in the name of we're going on the street. You look, continue to put people in the street. You will make this government popular. I told you, look, there is a time coming in Liberia where y'all will run away from protests. When somebody tell you, say, can't protest, y'all will say, no, we're going nowhere. It starts small, small. Because the more you guys protest, is the more you show to the world that democracy is in existence in Liberia. That's the more time you show to the world that President Weah respects the rule of law. So you continue. And you only prove to the world how limited you are, that you don't even understand your own function, your own responsibility, and the channels that should be followed in order for you to be able to solve problems or to resolve issues. And you don't understand it. If you have issue with neck, you go into the American embassy. I want to say to you, we receive a very sad news, and let us remember the husband of the Speaker of the United States of America, Madam Pelosi. Let us remember the family there. Please, let us remember that particular family. They also are going through their own time. Her husband was attacked in their home. Can you imagine? It's just appalling. You know, it's just appalling. The husband of the Speaker of the House of Rep, Madam Nancy Pelosi, husband was attacked in his own house in America here. How many of you are aware of that? How many of you know that? So let us remember the husband of Madam Nancy Pelosi, who was attacked in his own house in this America. I'm saying in the United States. And the person who attacked her husband was calling and asking, where is Madam Nancy Pelosi? He had hammer in his hand. Where is Nancy Pelosi? In America. In America, these things are happening. Now, we must pray for the family. We must pray for Nancy Pelosi and pray for, her husband and her family. But I am thinking, if this was in Liberia, what was going to be the headline? Some of you don't know. I am telling you now before you even get to know that such thing happened in the United States. I am testing our broadcast. So again, those of you that have joined us, it's a test broadcast today. We'll be testing the FM from Liberia very soon. They are, trying to work on some stuff. Once it is okay, we will definitely be able to get to you. Definitely. So I'm testing everything. I'm testing the sound, the video quality, and every other thing. I'm testing it. Trying to work on some stuff. Once it is okay. So again, as I said, as I speak to you in the United States, the Speaker of the House of Rep, Madam Nancy Pelosi husband, was attacked in his own house, not on the street, not in the park, not in a club, not in his car, not anywhere else, but in his own house, he was attacked. Now, I want you to think for a minute. If this was going to be Liberia, what was going to be the news from other people? Especially from the opposition. Let's just assume, God forbid, God forbid. What was going to be the news? Some of you idiot that right in America here was going to say, and we say Liberia is not safe, and we say Liberia is not secure, people even attacking, in that way you're going to say. So where are the people? Like the like of Yasendi Pehe Mountain, our own lovely sister, I love her. She's my sister. I love her so much. I love her passion. I love her energy. So those of you who condemn everything that happened in Liberia, I want to ask you. So what are you saying? We are living in this country and we must be concerned about happenings in this country. So that's why I said from the very beginning, let us remember the husband of Madam Nancy Pelosi. He is undergoing some medication, treatment. It is our hope and prayer that he will be okay. So this man was attacked in his home. This was an attack on Madam Nancy Pelosi. So my question is, assuming that this was going to happen in our Liberia, God forbid, what was going to be the headline today on Front Page Africa? What were they going to be saying around here? Few of these idiots that we have in America, you know, portraying themselves as advocates and political huda, we were not going to hear in our ears. They were going to start to tell the whole world how Liberia is unsafe. You see, I want to say this, my people. There is nowhere in this world that is problem free. But the ability of the people to be able to look at their problem, resolve their problem, and speak out about their problem is what makes them to be unique. I thank God that I am in the United States because I'm learning a lot from here. We are again testing the system. I want to say Vivian Wallow, you are welcome. I want to welcome you, Vivian Wallow. Janetta Bernard, I want to say you are highly welcome, Mama. I appreciate you and I welcome you. Thank you so much. Josephine Nangbe, I want to say you are highly welcome. I appreciate you. Samsi P. Brown, I want to say you are highly welcome. Mami Fina, nothing can bring me down. You are highly welcome. Oh, you say you are not getting a notification? No, I don't know what is going on, Mama. Then it means you need to subscribe. Usually, the page that I am on now is my page. It's my personal page. That is the Prince Sharif. But I will want to urge all of us to subscribe to Under the Palava Hut. Because when you subscribe to the page Under the Palava Hut, then you will get all of the notification. Currently, I am on my personal page. That's where I'm broadcasting from now. There's a test broadcast I am doing. So currently, I am on my own personal page. You will see Prince Sharif, you know, the page there, you will see it. But now I am not using this particular page to go live. So those who are following me on my personal page, the only time you will get notification is when I send, you know, whatever stuff. So that is the reason why. So I will appeal to all of us. Those of you who are watching here on this, my personal page, when you go to, like, if you are to go to Honor the Palava Hut now, you are going to see the notification bell. You can hit it and you follow me Under the Palava Hut. So if you are not getting a notification, that's the reason why, because I do not go live again on this page as usual. Today I'm just testing the YouTube. I am also testing, you know, other stuff, and we'll be testing the FM. So that's what I'm going on this live. So I want to appeal to you. Those of you who are not getting a notification on this particular page is because you have not subscribed to Honor the Palava Hut. So when you go to Honor the Palava Hut and subscribe to it, you will get all of the notification. Anytime I'm going live, you'll be able to get it on that page. I think I have about 40,000 followers. I think so. I think 30 or 40,000 person follow me on that particular page. So go to Honor the Palava Hut. It is the official page for our show. So go there and subscribe to it or hit the notification bell. So I want to say thank you so much, my sister Efina. Nothing can bring me down. Wesley, thank you so much. I appreciate you sending out that. I think it's very, very important. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, so somebody said I should share the YouTube link. Let me see if I can share the YouTube link while we're listening to our Dabo. Happy birthday to our Oma.
Understand our culture, our values, our systems.
So let me see if I can share the YouTube link.
Tackle it. It's not always to just make a whole lot of noise about it, but to quietly build those institutions that are going to be long-lasting.
What is it about your country's institutions and values and culture that led you to appoint 3 of your sons and your sister to top government positions? Something that led to your fellow Liberian Nobel Peace Laureate, Lema Bowie, to resign from her post as head of Liberia's Peace and Reconciliation Commission. Does she not understand Liberian culture or institutions?
No. Let's put it this way. First of all, when I took office, if you're talking about one of my sons was always in place a couple of administrations before I took place, and I didn't fire him. Yes, I didn't think it was necessary to do so. If you're talking about the others where I needed a specialized skill to be able to achieve our objective of trying to mobilize the resources to tackle our major development programs, that's what I did. And frankly, will you please look around today at some other countries that have found themselves perhaps in similar positions? and have been able to put in place those particular
Which
relatives
countries?
close to them
Which
whom
countries
they
are
feel they
those?
could trust. I'll leave that to you to do your research on.
Well, I've done my research. The British Prime Minister hasn't appointed any
But
family
then
members.
then
The Canadian Prime Minister hasn't appointed any family members. The French President hasn't appointed any family members. The German Chancellor hasn't appointed any family members. I could keep
Well,
going,
good
Ellen
for
Johnson
them.
Sirleaf.
Good for them, is that all?
Well, you were saying look at other
all?
countries. I'm saying...
So I have just posted the link to our YouTube channel. I'm just posting it so you can please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please subscribe to it. So I'm posting it over and over. I'm doing it more than 10 times so that you can be able to get it and share it with others also. Thank you.
It's not a common practice for presidents or prime ministers, certainly not in democratic nations, to appoint a bunch of family members to run various institutions.
Well, look, let me put it this way. We're really gone beyond this now. You know, let's deal with the real issues of Liberia. Let's deal with how we can help this country to succeed.
You say let's deal with Liberia's real issues. No. You said you appointed family members for specialized skill sets. Your son Robert Sirleaf was appointed chairman of Liberia's.
You hear the excuse that Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf is giving for appointing family members? Like I said, we are testing our broadcast. Specialized skill. So there were other Liberians in Liberia, in other words, but they were not specialized. They didn't have that skill. You see, anyway, today the Oma birthday, but we still need to talk. We still need to talk. But let me say this, fellow Liberians, be very careful. What these people condemned yesterday, the reason for which they killed 250,000 plus of our people under their own regime, they said it was okay. You see how evil these people are? When yesterday they told us that the late President Samuel Kanyondo was practicing nepotism and for that reason they must move him. He was practicing tribalism. They should move him. He was inept and etc. etc. But these were the people who when they took over government, they brought in their family members, Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. And when the issue was raised, what she said these people, they have special skill set. That's what we bring them in for. That's why we bring them in. They get special skill. That's why we bring them in. Well, that is it for you to judge. But I am just pointing this out to tell you that what is right, when somebody do it, they will say it is wrong. They brought in people and they sideline our people in the name of let's be able to have a small, effective, and efficient government. What did they do to implement that particular policy? Let's have a small, effective, and efficient government. What did they do? They downsized our people. They laid down our fathers and our mothers who were working in government without their due benefits, without correct program set. They laid these people off because they wanted to bring in their people who helped them to perpetrate the evil against the Liberian people. And they said these people have special skill set to help move Liberia forward. It is only under the government of Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf that she herself confessed that corruption had three different status, three different nomenclature. She referred to corruption as a cancer. Later on from cancer, she said that it was a public enemy. From it being a public enemy, she went down to say corruption was a vampire. Three different nomenclature was given to corruption under the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf-led government. We are grateful today that we have a President Weah, who is doing everything to fight corruption. But you see, the perception of corruption is so strong, and the reason for which it is strong is because most of our people, they don't have mind of their own. They don't think of themselves. They don't do their own independent investigation. They don't authenticate the information. Anything that anybody write, they run with it in the name of we are against the government or I am an opposition. Look, being an opposition, it doesn't mean that you must be stupid. Let me say this. Let me answer this call. Hello?
Hey, Prince.
Yes, sir.
What's up? Moses.
Oh, okay. Moses, how are you?
Good. Hey, this is Prince Sherry, right?
Yes, sir. This is Prince Sharif.
Oh, you're on the show.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Do you care if I engage you on the show or no?
Okay, no problem. No problem. You can do just that. No problem. You can do that. Let me just do some technical adjustment here, and then yeah, while you are on the line, don't worry. Let me do some technical adjustment. All right, fellow Liberian, while we are on our test broadcast, like I said, this is our test broadcast. We are testing our YouTube channel. We are testing the Facebook and some new equipments that we have. And we will also be testing our FM channel, in Liberia, but they are working on it. There are some stuff we need to put in order because we will be broadcasting by the grace of God, if everything goes well, on at least about 2 or 3 radio stations in Liberia. So we are working on some things, some technical stuff. So once that is done, then we will definitely be able to test our FM broadcast. But again, we have on the line our own brother and friend, our brother Moses, who have joined us so that we can, have a kind of conversation. So again, the YouTube link is there. You can go to the YouTube and subscribe. Currently, as I speak to you on the YouTube link there, we have about, let me just see, before we go to our brother who have joined us here, let me go to the YouTube link and see how many persons that is currently following us there. It's very encouraging anyway. It's very encouraging. Oh, we have 11 viewers. Wow, that's great. From 4 going up to 11. Oh, wow. Thank you, those of you who are watching us on YouTube. You are so great. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for subscribing to our YouTube channel. Again, I've placed the link on Facebook Live, so you can also just go right to the YouTube channel and you will get us there. So again, I want to say welcome to each and every one of you. I appreciate you and thank you so kindly. Let's go to the line as we engage with our brother Moses. Brother Moses, thank you. Welcome.
Well, sir, thank you for having me. Look, I'm a little bit confused. I'm following you at work, though, but I'm a little bit confused.
All right, sir.
I'm trying to get the point you're making with the Nessie policing attack. What is that? How do we correlate that? I'm lost.
Yeah, the reason for which I put this out and I first of all ask for prayers is that if this was going to be something that was done in Liberia, for example, if I'm just giving you an example, let's use this as a hypothetical case. If maybe the wife of the Speaker of the House of Rep, Buffer's Chamber, if his wife maybe was attacked in Liberia, people in the United States, especially some opposition, and I'm not going to classify all of them, under the same canopy, some opposition, because being an opposition, it doesn't mean that people who oppose, they don't have genuine issues or they don't have genuine concerns. Some of them do it objectively, but there are some also who understand they just do it because they are opposition. So what I'm saying is that if that was going to happen in Liberia, if that was going to be the reverse in Liberia, people are going to say Liberia is not safe. Liberia is not a place to go. They were going to classify Liberia as one of the most insecure nations on the planet Earth. So I just bring in that scenario to tell our people that there are challenges everywhere. That everywhere has its own, lay ups and down. But it doesn't mean that the world is not a safe or secure place for us. So that's why I just try to bring that in.
So the point you want to, the end result you want to get is to say that it shouldn't be called out had it been Liberia or what? I don't get it, because even the Nessie policy you're talking about has a wide range of condemnation from both Republicans and Democrats, including other international figures. Okay, so it's not a safe situation. Even in America, that's not a safe thing to do.
Thank you very much.
My confusion here is: are you insinuating that had it been back home, it shouldn't be called out just as it's being called out here?
No, if it was going to be back home, some opposition members was going to take it as a plus for them. They were going to celebrate and tell the world that Liberia is not a place to be. That's what I'm saying. If that was going to happen in Liberia, the people are going to use that situation to classify Liberia that one, the government is incompetent. The government does not care for the people. In fact, it is the government who is hunting whoever. And people are going to play politics out of it. The opposition is going to celebrate it. That's what they're going to do because they've been doing it forever. Whenever things happen negatively, for us to collectively condemn it, we don't.
Help me.
Yeah.
What lesson, what value do you want us to learn from this
Okay,
conversation?
so the value I want us to learn is that number one, there are challenges all over the world. That is one people must understand. Number two, when anything happens that is unorthodox, that is not normal, that all of us, despite your political alignment or attachment, that we all should condemn it instead of celebrating it, instead of using it as a means to classify the government as being unqualified, or to condemn the government, or to condemn everything about that nation. That is the second aspect. The third aspect, that we as people, there are times we must understand that it is not everything that we have to politicize and think that we are winning because we are on the other side. But when these things happen, we should work together, as I said, to just, join the connection. We should all work together to condemn it and look for a better avenue to avoid the reoccurrence. I hope you're getting me. I hope I explain myself clear.
No, I'm now, I think now it makes sense to me. But then my last question then is,
yes, sir.
So what event back home that gave rise to this comparison?
There are couples of incidents. There are a couple of incidents that gave rise. Let me just put this person on while I am talking with you, please. Let me merge this. I'm sorry, let me merge. Yes, sir. Yeah. One of the incidents that I want to point to, like you asked, when the late Adolph Aquil Lawrence was involved in a motor car accident, people blame the government that it was the government of President Weah, or it was the CDC-led government that, cut short the life of Adolph Lawrence. There were people who were accusing the government of doing that. That is one example I'm giving you. Another example that I'm about to give you, which is very recent, I think all of us will know about it. Should I call this? Anyway, I think this is okay. I don't want to bring in that one. Yeah. Let's just look at the Adolph Lawrence issue. But anyway, the quite recent one is with the lawmaker. Let me just say this out. The lawmaker from Grange, the newly elected lawmaker from Grange.
Mm-hmm.
His vehicle was
vandalized.
Yeah, was vandalized. And to my greater surprise, there were people who said that it was the government that was hunting this particular lawmaker.
Right.
Another one that I will give you another.
Have we learned about that so far?
Another example again I'm going to give is our own sister, Rosalind Swakoko Dennis. She alleged that the government again were running behind her. So the lesson that I am trying to put here is what we have seen here is being condemned by everybody, right? That it is not correct. This is something that should not be done in any civilized society. You see the Republican trying to dance over it and say, hey, we tell you, say, Joe Biden, the men are competent. They are not dancing over it. They are not on top show and trying to gain political relevance. So what I'm saying here is that when these things happen in Liberia, we must collectively, whether be in opposition or out of opposition, we must collectively condemn this act.
Yes. So.
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh. So as we making the correlation with these two countries.
Yes, sir.
As we speak now, the suspect who actually invaded the Pelosi's home.
Yeah.
Is under arrest.
Definitely.
Within less than 72 hours, he's apprehended.
Yeah.
Can we also make that comparison with our place, especially with the resident representative?
Yeah, definitely we can make that comparison. There are cases that suspects, involved in some of these cases have been apprehended and undergoing police investigation. But again, I don't want to just say it here that we get everything 100%. We know of the challenges that we have. Like take for an example, what happened to the garage there. I want to believe that they don't have a CC camera. If we had a CC camera, that was going to be a different thing there. But of recent, you know what happened to a girl who was killed in one of the facility of the how you call, I think, our Seti's brother aluminium factory. They used the CC camera to be able to arrest the guy. And as I speak to you now, I think he has been sentenced to life in prison that murdered that particular girl.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
Mhm.
All right. So let's go to the line. We have another person that have joined us on this test transmission, our own brother, Frederick. But before we bring in our brother, is there something you want to say before we can bring in our brother? All right. So let's go to our brother, Frederick Tenisi Nimine. My brother, you are welcome, Frederick.
Mr. Sherry, thank you. You know, me, I call in because of Mr. Mose or whoever that call in. I cannot get their full name rightly.
Yeah, Brother Moses.
But,
Okay.
you know, yes. So, Brother Sharif, your communication was clear, and I wanted for you to even ask him really, because he said he called and he was not understanding, and later on you explained and he didn't talk further. So I guess he understands. So since he understands, I won't like to talk much, but I will talk on Ellie Salif's situation.
Okay. Go ahead.
Interview, yes.
Yes, sir.
I heard the madam, saying something, Mr. Sharif. When the journalist asked her, she tried to tie corruption, as our deputy already said, they squander our opportunities. She tried to tie persecution or following the law, and she tried to tie it. If you listen to her, she was trying to tie it to our tradition, that corruption or stealing that tradition business or in a society. The man asking you, what are you doing about these things? If he's saying the man is lying, can you imagine the man even reminded her about those she appointed her children? Then she tried to say, the man he doesn't understand our culture. So what does our culture say from the constitution that she's supposed to have used to govern the country? Yeah, it's what she should be talking about. You see, Brother Sherry, you play a clip. President, we have made a statement. That video you just played.
Yes, sir.
President, we have said he worked for Liberia when he took that ambassador position. It touched me. He said, I took that ambassador position because I was not working for government. I was working for the Liberian people. That's why I didn't reject that position. The people were asking me. I have been coming. I have been these people when President William got in power. He called them to tell you that they were not thinking about the Liberian people, they were only thinking about themselves. I can remember, Brother Sherry, President William called everybody. Usually, the late Bronsky, they only send their deputies because they felt that the man who is the president today was not competent, he's not their class, he shouldn't call them for meeting. So they send Delon Ben, they send all kind of people. But this is the president telling us that he accepted that job because he wanted to work for the Liberian people and not for a government. So I love that video. This is what I took from there. Liberians, you have your president, accept this man. This man want to develop our country. He's not going to be speaking big book. He said, Public Works Minister, I don't want to hear about GDP, not GDP.
I know.
They are our roads.
Sure.
They are our infrastructure. And this is what we want. And when you have roads, you have electricity. As they just found the electricity, jobs will follow gradually.
Sure.
Development process. It's not an event. Thank you, Brother Sherry.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much. Fellow Liberians, we want to say thank you. This, like I said, is a test transmission, a test broadcast, and will soon be going up. But there's something we need to talk about later. That is the electricity. But before talking about the electricity, I want to bring something to your attention. As you may be aware, the people in Minnesota, they will actually be voting. They will be voting for their, I think are people who will represent them. Yeah, people who will be able to, speak for them in the House, people who will represent their interests, and people who will be able to, put forth their case. But I need to get all of the information here, and then we'll have an extensive issue on it. But there is something I want to bring to your attention. There are two individuals in the race. One is Wilfred Russell, and the other is Howlins Winston. These two men, I think, one is a Liberian. That is Wilfred Russell. He is a Liberian. I don't know for the latter, Harlan. I don't know for him. But let me tell you this, and we have a time to really explain this in depth about Wilfred Russell. This is somebody who have proven beyond all reasonable doubt that he is not a patriotic Liberian. He is not somebody who is willing to help Liberians. I will have that on the bigger platform because now I'm having it here. Later on, I will have it on the bigger platform. Wilfred Russell, this is somebody who, taking into consideration the time that he has spent here and the influence that he had, that he should use that influence to help our people, especially Liberians who are undocumented in this particular country. I work with some Ghanaians and Liberians, and these Nigerians. They have their association. What usually happens is that for those of their brothers and sisters that is undocumented, they come together, they find lawyers, and they help these people and integrate them in the American system. They don't go about praying that the government of the United States should send them back or snitching on the people that don't want to send anyone back. They look for every means possible to help their people. They work with the system to see how best they can be able to help their people and integrate them here. But unlike Wilfred Russell, this man is somebody who, because he thinks that President Weah is the president of Liberia or America is for him or that his personal property, he goes about snitching on Liberians instead of helping to integrate Liberians in the American dream or in the American society. He goes about snitching on Liberians. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I am not saying that it is correct for any Liberian or anybody for that matter to go in any country undocumented. I think it is not something that all of us should be able to encourage. But again, people who have stayed in country for a long time, I will give you an example of the African scenario, Nigerians and Ghanaians. That's why you see the Ghanaians Association or the Nigerians Association everywhere in the world is so very strong. And the reason for which it is very strong is because these people help to integrate their people into whatever system that their people is in undocumented. I am not saying that they don't have their own challenges. I'm not looking at their challenges. I'm looking at their progress. When a Nigerian is somewhere and he has no document, once he is part of that particular organization or their organization hears about it, guess what happened? They will look for ways and means legally to be able to integrate that person into that society. To say, look, brother, you got to be here. We will try. Whatever we can do to integrate you, we'll do it. But it is unfortunate that somebody like Winfrey will go about, because you know Minnesota hosts a very large community of Liberians. We go about, instead of working with the system to help Liberians and integrate them, but we go about seeing how best you can snitch on Liberians to send our people back home. But we have a whole hour show on this particular Winfrey Russell. Until then, I want to say thanks to each and every one of you. I appreciate your presence here. There's a test broadcast. We will be on this evening. It's a test broadcast. So until we meet again this evening, fellow Liberians, I want to play you a music right here. I want to give you a music that is going to in fact, let's give you this. So we are going to give you this music that is going to take us home. It is a test transmission.
We're making
Somebody
the
will say,
visual.
a test broadcast. This is a test broadcast. So again, I urge each and every one of you to please subscribe to our YouTube channel. The link is there. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscribe to it, please. We appeal to you to please subscribe to the YouTube channel. So let's take this music. Let us take this music and let's take this music. All right, that's how we do it here, fellow Liberians home and abroad. On behalf of the management and staff of Honor the Palava Hall, we want to say thank you so much. We want to now take our exit. Until we meet again, I'm your brother, I'm your friend. My name is Prince and Cherie. Don't forget to subscribe to Honor the Palava Hall to follow us. The YouTube channel is there, and the page is Honor the Palava Hall. Until then, bye, and have yourself a God bless day.